What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. I'm Craig. We're going to talk a little bit about the Dow Jones, and then we're going to move right into Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at the daily, and then we're going to take a look at our 4-hour chart, the targets we've been watching, how that's looking, and then we'll look into a bigger chart just on the daily to the weekly to the monthly, just to take a look at some things I want you guys to notice. And before we begin, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up, leave your comments below, and let's get into it. So this is the Dow Jones. If we put this on the weekly, as you guys know, I think we are getting very near the biggest crash of our lifetime. I could definitely be wrong, but guys, there's so many things pointing to it. So this looks like the ending fifth wave diagonal we've been talking about in the Dow Jones since way back here in October. We started talking about this ending. We actually were looking for it way back in February, March, somewhere in that, looking for this fifth wave to end. But as you can see, I think it did. Let's go into the smaller time frame now. Let's go into the daily just to get a good view of it. Whoops, that's the monthly. That's not going to work. Here we go. So looking at it on the daily, as you guys know, within this big rising wedge, with I think is the ending fifth wave diagonal, we have this smaller rising channel here. The bottom of this channel is somewhere around 42.4, somewhere in that area. We'll see how it plays out next week, possibly today, but there's only 2 more hours left in the market today. But if next week it breaks this 42.4 area, it'll probably be a pretty swift move down to... Now, if that holds, that changes everything, right? But if it does break, we're looking at somewhere around this 39.8 to 38 range, right? That's just a measured move from breaking down here, right? So actually this would be up a little bit higher. So somewhere in this, say between 39 and 40 would be the area to watch for. Now, as you guys know, I talk a lot about Bitcoin not being able to hold up in a stock market crash. If the stock market crashes like I believe it will, it's going to get ugly, guys. Just be cautious, be careful. And let's take a look at some the daily chart before we get into the 4-hour on Bitcoin, and I'll show you what these trades are looking like. But as you can see, this is our main area of resistance, getting up to possibly that 114 to 115 range if we do get another leg up. But for that to happen, this right here would have to hold this 91. This is the smaller trend line, right? Off of, you can draw it yourself, off these 2 wicks here. And if that holds, then like I said, we could still see that 115 range. But as of right now, we have to hold above this 91.4. And in the 4-hour, it's showing that we're going to go lower. And I'll show you where. I've been talking about this for weeks, but we'll take a look at it. Before we do, if you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT. Links down below. By using my link, you can get a 20% deposit bonus up to $7,000. Also, you can get discount on your trading fees by using my account. I also will be posting more promo codes for you to get $200 in your account. So all you have to do is set up an account. You don't even have to make a deposit. And if you catch on X, every once in a while, I'll post 2 codes. They're a series of letters and numbers. If you put that into your promo code section, once you have set up your account, it'll automatically, even with no money in there, put $200 in for you to trade. Obviously, you can't take the 200 out, but you will be able to trade that 200 and keep all the profits. And the cool thing about it is you can trade the Dow Jones, crypto, Forex, silver, oil, S&P, NASDAQ, everything all from one exchange. And you can use your crypto to trade on it. So anyway, for those of you that have been asking for a no KYC, there is also BitUnix. You can, I have a link down below. You can sign up with that. If you put $100 in, it'll automatically put another 100 in. And there's other ways to get up to like $5,000 if you follow their directions here. But anyway, both links are down below, guys. Check them out. Let's look at the 4 hours. So this is what we've been looking at, right? A rising, broadening wedge. We keep breaking below this bottom support. So I don't know, you know, where to look at that. But no matter what, this is our target right here, around the $79,500 to $80,000 range. Now, there's a few different ways to look at this. I just want to point these out for you now. So if you're not in a trade now, if you're not in this short, this would be a good place to enter it. If you break the 92.5, right? If we break this 92.5, chances are we'll come back up, test it for resistance, and continue on down from there. Now, there will be two targets for this one. So first off, you take your measured move from the length of this, or the width of this channel, right? And you bring it down. I'm going to show you a few targets on this range, depending on where it breaks here, but it's going to be pretty close to this range somewhere, right? So you're going to be somewhere around, these are going to be your take profit areas, right? If you're already in the trade, which if you got in up here, you're doing awesome. You could just be trailing with stops. You could have your stops all the way, at 100 and be pretty safe here. But let's see. If this does break, you're going to get that 85.3. The cool thing about this is, like, literally that would be like a $9,000 move. And using leverage or trading on margin using the links down below, right? You can use $1,000, and if you went 100 times leverage, you could be trading with more than a Bitcoin. So that drop would get you $9,000. You're only risking 1,000. I've made tutorials on that. I'll leave a tutorial of PrimeXBT up here on how to do that. But anyways, so that would be one. The other way to look at this would be looking at this as one big bull flag, right? And we would take a measured move of the flagpole, and we would bring it to down here. If it broke out, that would get us one more lower target, right? And that would be around the 79.5. Now, here's some other things that give it confluence, right? So if we looked at this as a big A, B, and we're making a C down, first off, we would look at this first. If we take it from the bottom of here to this next high here, whoops, what the hell is that? That's not what I wanted. Goofy shit. Let's see right here. Okay, so let's zoom in here a little bit. Now I'm going to look at this. I'm going to measure from this low to this high to this low to this high. And this should give you a 1-to-1 extension right here that we hit, right? Let's see if that happens. So we go from this low down here, go to this high, and then we go back down to this low. Look at that, the 1-to-1 extension, right? Let me move this over to there. Nailed it, 1-to-1 extension. So what that could be there is just a 1, and this being a 2, right, with the ABC. Damn it. I don't know what's going on with this today, but anyways, I guess all the holidays got me kind of screwed up. So let's look at that. Let's go from this top down to this bottom, right? And back up to here. This being a big wave. 1, 2, right? Now there's going to be a couple different ways to look at this. So look at this as a 1, 2, right? Because this was your ABC, right? And then your 3, if you get to the 3, should be all the way to the 1.618. Does that line up with a fib? No, it's past a fib. That gets you down to about 73 if that was to happen, right? So your next levels are, what's funny is this 79.5 to 79.1. That matches up with the 1.272. So that is another good confluence area to watch for. But if that was to happen, then that was shallow. So you'd probably get a deeper wave 4 and then a wave 5, continuing on down to somewhere in this range, 70,000, somewhere in there. We'll keep up on it if that does happen. But again, if you do break up above this 100, let's get it over here. I think that's at about 100, isn't it? Let me get this out of your way. Is that about 100? Yeah, close to 100. We would do the same thing. You take a measured move to where it broke out, and that would get you right back up to the high again. So watch for that. If you are in a short, I would put your stops above this trend line, and that's going to be somewhere around 100,000, 105,000, somewhere in there, right? just above 100,000. So 100, 103, 104, 105,000, depending on where you're in your short up here. Otherwise, once it breaks below here, you'll want to have your stops above this bottom trend line. But either way, I've been talking about it for weeks. I still think we're headed down to that $79,000 to $80,000 range. And let's take a look at a bigger chart here and just look for some divergence, right? As you can see back here, you had your high, right? And these go by candle closes, not wicks, guys. All the RSI always goes by the close of the candle, not the wicks, right? So you had your high, your higher high. You had your high, your lower high. Can you see the divergence, right? That was bearish divergence, and it did come crashing down. Same thing here. We're doing it all over again, right? You see the divergence there? This looks like this could definitely be the top, guys, with a huge crash. And as I've said for years, for a long time, I still think we can see somewhere between the 3,500 and 9,700 for this true bottom. Would that look strange? Possibly it would look strange, but would it be strange? No, not really. As you can see, the confluence here with all these high volume nodes right here, right? That would get it about 94 to get this big high volume node right here. Does that make sense? Actually, it does. But anyways, you do you. Be careful out there. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Do I wish I had bought more Bitcoin? No, I made tons of money trading Bitcoin in the past few years. So no, I do not wish I look at it as a huge risk until we hit this bottom down here. So all these people that have been buying up here are going to be bummed the hell out when it gets down to these lower levels, if it does. Now, mind you, I might be totally wrong, but if it does, which I'm still pretty confident it's going to, they're going to be hurting. They're going to be bad. They're going to be wishing they would have took all that money they bought. Let's say they bought one Bitcoin for $80,000 when they cost average, right? They're going to wish to hell they would have got it under 10,000 because they could have got 8 of them and rode it back up. Do I think it's going to shoot back up like this? Absolutely not. I think it's going to take years and years and years to get back to that range. But if you get the bottom, who cares? Because you're making money for a very long time. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you Monday.